We're going to get name number 2 and find out how he's approaching it. I really think that Ek0p's the one who's going to have to make adjustments in this one, but we're going to find out because it's getting underway right now. Neirea's out to a 1-0 lead, but Ek0p, he's looking to tie up this series, boy, and I don't think that he's going to come swinging lightly at all.
No, not at all. He came out with Grim Patron in game 1. There's a chance he just cues it up in game 2 because, honestly, his draw was pretty poor.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty poor, I think, is an understatement, honestly, for it. And we'll get Ek0p's picture up for you right
we had a couple celebrities coming into the game.
Just making their appearance here. So, beautiful portraits. Look at this opening hand from Neirea, too. Azure Drake's not a card that we always find in Druid decks lately.
Yeah, Azure Drake, you know, it comes in and out. Depends on what game they want to play. Draws you an extra card and makes your swipes a little bit better. But, you know, it's just a good, solid minion for 5 mana.
Yeah, it's got pseudo taunt as well. You know, if you're playing against a very aggressive deck, obviously they tend to ignore it sometimes. But if you're playing against a control deck, this isn't a minion that they just leave on board.
No, you can never leave this minion on board. The fact that it's a 4/4 isn't really what's going on here. You can never leave something with extra spell damage in play.
Yeah, we're going to find out if this is Grim Patron or if this is Control Warrior. But either way, Neirea's opening hand is beautiful. Turn 2 Wild Growth and an Acidic Swamp Ooze and a plethora of threats to add behind this. That Shield Slam tells me that Ek0p swapped this up.
Yeah, I love seeing these Acidic Swamp Ooze here. We've been seeing players do this, add these little things into their deck for the matchups, and they can go a long way in winning you a game.
Yeah, I also like the swap up from Ek0p here. You know, the fact that he played Grim Patron in game 1, it really, when he runs it back here with Warrior, this is very easily still Grim Patron that he's playing. These guys throwing some emotes back and forth. He loves the gamesmanship between these two.
Yeah, Ek0p getting a little cheeky. Love it.
Neirea, though, no shortage of great draws.
This Keeper of the Grove
apologizes.
Yeah. Love seeing the guys actually enjoy themselves and joke back and forth. I'm pretty sure these guys interact with each other a lot.
Yeah, I mean, despite that, though, they still take this pretty seriously. You know, these guys want to win, and they want to assert their dominance over each other. But, you know, again, both these guys very likely to be practicing with each other. They both live in Europe, too.
Yeah, you know, it's a weird thing we always talk about when you play your friend in a match. Yeah, you know, it's fun, you have fun with it, but in the back of your mind, you want to win just that much more.
Oh, yeah. I mean, every time I've played you, I've wanted to beat you very badly.
Bad, it's just never happened.
Oh, please. This guy chanting for me to mulligan down to 4 on Magic right over on camera.
I mean, obviously. I mean, why wouldn't I?
Yeah, Emperor Thorson, great turn here from Neirea. You know, Sylvanas isn't bad either, though. You know, if he pulls a lot of heat away with this Sylvanas, something that happens is that his Emperor will stick to the board more often.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he needs to play Emperor here because, like you said, I like your point, but also, I mean, he's not in any hurry. You know what I mean? Like, what does he need to do here? He doesn't need to make his hand, you know, a lot cheaper because, you know, next turn he can Emperor again and then start going off from there.
Just scaling into his curve because of the Wild Growth. What's kind of curious to me, though, is that he didn't choose to use Acidic Swamp Ooze on this Death Spite, and that tells me he understands that this is likely Control Warrior.
Well, not just that. It's just when he plays the Sylvanas there, I feel that he is pricing Ek0p into using his Death Spite to take care of the Sylvanas. So it's kind of like he gets the Acidic Swamp Ooze while playing the Giant Threat as well.
Yeah, so Emperor Thorson hits play, but Ek0p's got plenty of ways to turn this right back around on Neirea. The question is going to be, can he follow this up? And with a second Shield Slam, he definitely can.
Yeah, he's got a lot of ways to take care of these minions that Neirea's got. His hand is great going forward. I mean, we've seen this from Ek0p in the same match a couple times. He's played Grim Patron Warrior and Control Warrior.
Yeah, and this is a matchup that typically goes in the favor of the Druid deck. Something that Neirea's got to end up doing this match, though, he's got to keep drawing big threats. You know, he's getting Sludge Belcher, he's got Keeper of the Grove, Druid of the Claw, but he's got to handle you know, being able to fight through all this removal. And Ek0p's hand is looking beautiful to not only answer these threats with tempo, but also develop his own big threats.
Yeah, he's going to be able to Emperor Thorus on the turn, plus Shield Slam to get this Ancient of Lore out of the way and get in damage here. Now he has 2 Fireworks and a Shield block behind this to draw some extra cards. Looking great going forward.
Yeah, the Fiery War Axes are kind of dead at this point, but all of his draws at this point in the game are starting to get very scary. You know, this deck doesn't play stuff like Whirlwind. This deck doesn't have Warsong Commander in it. It's got high-profile threats and ways to really get the job done.
Great turn from Neirea here. He's going to be able to take care of Emperor Thorson and innervate out a Druid of the Claw.
Now, Druid of the Claw likely to come in taunt mode here. But once again, now Ek0p's able to make use of these Fiery War Axes, which are something that's otherwise looking dead. And just as I say that, draws Gromish, so he's got his finisher in hand as well. But, you know, if there's a chance that Ek0p looks at this kind of hand and thinks to himself, maybe this is an opening to use Grom, he's going to lead with Shield Block first. And frankly, I think he needs to be holding on to this Grom because it's a big win condition for him. If that gets Big Game Hunted, it's a nightmare.
Yeah, and he's got another card in his hand now to get Big Game Hunted, but this one's going to be leaving behind some minions as well. Drawing Dr. Boom to turn another great card here for Ek0p.
Yeah, I mean, this is what this deck does, though. If it gets to a safe late game position, it's going to come with threat after threat after threat, and that's the last spot that Neirea wants to be in.
Yeah, and as you're going to see, Neirea, there's no way he just adds the big game hunter here, but he is going to get this acidic swamp ooze. He needs to get things going. He needs to get some bodies on board. Getting to kill the fire Rex, just, you know, a nice sidebar.
Yeah, very clean turn from him. Gets to set the 5/10 to protect these littler guys, and at the same time gets to use all of his mana very cleanly in the same process. Ek0p's in a spot now where he has to do something about this, but again, he's got a lot of threats to keep building board tension.
Yeah, he's starting to actually fall behind a little bit. Neirea fighting his way back into this game. With the Druid decks, whenever you don't kill them quickly, this is the problem you run into. They always have such huge threats every turn.
Yeah, Ancient of War kind of cycling back into Druid. You know, this is something that went extinct for a while, and ever since I think it was Muzzy was the first player to play it, it's been creeping into every build.
Yeah, you've heard people talking about it too. People like Purple have saying he's been playing Black Knight in all of his Druid decks so he could win the mirrors.
Yeah, even Dog had it in his Druid deck. He said it was a great way to close out the game when you're ahead and a great way to also fight back from when you're behind. Maybe this card should just rotate back into the metagame.
I still just want to see a 10-5. We haven't seen anyone make a 10-5 yet. I just want to see someone die from getting attacked for like 20 from this card.
Well, that little big game hunter is why you don't see the 10-5 very often. That card swings the board right back around. And Neirea looking so poised to take this game if Ek0p doesn't pick up something big here.
Yeah, Big Game Hunter, one of just the swingiest cards in all of Hearthstone. It just feels so bad every time you get Big Game Hunted. Anyway, you've heard people like Neirea say that he actually builds all of his decks to not get Big Game Hunted. He just hates losing to that card.
Yeah, I hate losing to it too, but I mean, can you deny the power of something like Dr. Boom? Gets a 1 damage roll on the Boombot. 2 of these targets were fantastic for Boombot, and obviously the last result you want is a 1 damage roll on this, so he's going to have to be content with just soaking up damage here and hoping that he can draw the right cards, because right now it's looking like he's just straight up falling behind on board.
Yeah, he's fallen way behind on board. Now he's going to get an extra card off this Acolyte of Pain, but is it going to be enough going forward? He's probably going to play the Sludge Belcher here this turn as well, but you know, how does he win from here? You know, he's got this Gromish and the Sludge Belcher they didn't play. Where does he go from here?
It's just tough to say, honestly. You know, playing the Sludge Belcher, it's so ugly to just play it into something that's just going to run it over. Harrison Jones isn't going to be helped either. And now Ek0p's got to start being concerned about stuff like Force Nature and Savage Roar.
Yeah, not just that. He needs to find an execute and find it really soon. Otherwise, he's not going to be in this game. And Force Nature Savage Roar won't even be needed. It'll just be mop-up duty for Neirea.
Yep. There's a big game hunter, but no use right now. I mean, Cruel Taskmaster would be able to enable this also. But kind of looking at the way this board is, he's got 2 5-drops, and that's really, I mean, this is his last turn to play a recovery game.
Yeah, I mean, he's pretty priced into playing this Harrison Jones and the Sludge Belcher this turn. You know, Fiery Rocks doesn't give him any, you know, any value here. Armoring up isn't enough going forward. He needs to elongate this game and try to get value off what he has now.
And even just, I mean, that's one of the kinds of draws that he needs Neirea to keep picking up if he wants to win this game. Is he's just going to continue to add pressure behind this. I mean, can Ek0p deal with a second Ancient of War?
I mean, the first one is still in play right now and still having to be dealt with. I think the second one's going to actually be backbreaking going forward from here.
Yeah, but now Ek0p he has seen Big Game Hunter at this point too, though. So Grom can actually be used as a value minion in this spot, and he's not too terribly worried about it. That's a great pickup as well. I mean, now Ek0p's finding himself in a spot where maybe he can claw his way back into this game.
Yeah, he can use the Cruel Taskmaster in conjunction with Big Game Hunter to take care of the Ancient of War here, but Neirea has a second one behind him. He's even got Grom and Cruel Taskmaster here as well if he wants. You saw him not play the Ancient of War last turn, you know, playing around something like Brawl.
I actually really love this play from Ek0p too, because this Cruel Taskmaster and Big Game Hunter can be used on the next 5-power threat, and right now Grom's pulling a lot of heat. Neirea actually needs to do something about this.
Yeah, Neirea even picks up a Harrison Jones here as well. He can take care of this Fiery War Axe and get an extra card out of it if he wants this turn as well.
Just been getting excellent draws. Harrison in both of his decks so far, I mean, being very prepared for weapons, that's been a big story so far in this queue up.
Yeah, Ek0p's been playing a lot of Warrior lately. Frankly, a lot of people have. These Grim Patron decks and these Control Warrior decks have been doing some work on HPL lately.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that the Control Warrior is actually the worst of the two. But the problem with it is that when your opponent's preparing for Grim Patron and then you bring Control Warrior, their decks are often left feeling like they're not very strong. What a draw from Neirea, too. Gets to take out this Grom without using his current 5/5. And again, 2 5-power threats on the board. Ek0p's got one way in his hand to deal with this, and he can't feel comfortable about it. Finally picks up Brawl. Oh, that's ugly. He needed this like 3 turns ago.
Yeah, he needed this quite a few turns ago. How do you go forward? I was supposed to say, do you just Brawl right away here and then use Cruel Taskmaster, Big Game Hunter to clean up what's left over? I
think you just have to. I mean, given the way that his hand is constructed right now, he just hopes that he draws something like Ragnaros. You know, maybe he's got another big swingy card in his deck that can help turn this game around, but he's going to be staring down another Ancient of War.
Yeah, we've seen things like Ysera show up in a few of these builds. Something like that would get him back into this game, but here comes another 5-10.
Yeah, he's going to add a 3-5 behind this, it looks like, too. I honestly think I'd like to see him draw a card instead. I mean, the 3-5 does check both of these minions right now, so, you know, Ek0p sort of pushed into killing one or the other. You know, his hero power is almost dead at this point.
Also, I want to talk about the second brawl. What a draw here for Ek0p. That was a great one. Now, I want to talk about the way Neirea's deck is constructed a little bit. He has a Shinjin Fieldmaster and a mind control tech, so he's going to win this brawl.
Yeah, this is important. Ek0p loses in the worst way possible. Ek0p actually, with that brawl, he was like a 50% chance to take a major advantage in this game.
Yeah, Ek0p. I mean, Neirea, very, very sorry about that.
What a huge draw from Neirea.
Yeah, able to pick up 2 more cards. Love Neirea's deck choice here. He's got Shinjin Fieldmaster and Mind Control deck in his deck. He is ready for the Grim Patron matchup.
This may not have Force Nature Savageroar in here. This may just be purely dedicated to taking care of the board and getting powerful threats out.
Yeah, there's no way he has that combo in here. This is just straight up Ramp Druid with answers for Grim Patron.
Yeah, well, he's about to start really taking the... Yeah, I mean, 2 Senjins at this point, 2 Mind Control techs. I believe you. I don't think there's anything in this build even close to combo-centric. Just going to play his minions and beat them up, and that's getting the job done here. Ek0p cannot maintain control, but man, that second brawl could have easily turned that game around.